Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and I've already done a day's work. Yes, living remote, haul the wood, stock the wood stove, fill the wheelbarrows, fill the wagon. Unreal. Plus, I had to pump water up to the house so I can have a bath tonight because it's Friday night. Yes. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm English. I'm stubborn. We do water in the mornings, not like yesterday afternoon when it was kind of warm out. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, wait. Okay, this morning we woke up. It's officially cold. Minus 30 Celsius, but feels like minus 35. And it's true. It is chilly willy. Okay, on the yo-yo scale, minus 22. That's lame ass. Oh, but feels like minus 31. That's better. Now they're chilly willy. Okay, the staff went and picked up the mail today. Oh, my Grinch gloves are giving me problems there. All right. We got a Christmas card from Dave in Oregon. We thank you very much. Yes, we'll spend the money wisely by buying fuel so we can have fun. Yes, or some welding rods. Yes. All right, we thank you very much. Oh, I'm having a hard time here today. Oh, and Kijiji yesterday. Oh, just like my marriage. It was just nothing but piss off, and a piss off. But oh well, we're learning. He'll come back in the shop one more time and we'll beat on him with that bigger hammer. All right, the sun is coming up there. It's probably about 9:30. I don't know. This working hard to live is unreal. I can't wait till I'm at Shady Pines Retirement Home and turn the thermostat up like those welfare people as I enjoy my green Jell-O that tastes like orange. Oh. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss, and my voice is going again. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I need more beverage. All right, here comes the boss. Okay, finally some cold weather, and we're getting some excellent wood stove chimney smoke. Oh, you try and say that's sober, but just look at that. We'll have that wood stove just pumping out the heat today in the shop. Okay, in the shop now. So I got the wood stove going this morning when I pumped the water up. Now the shop is warmed up. It doesn't take long for it to warm up. Okay, but it is chilly outside. We didn't go very far with walking the dogs because one, it was too cold for them. Two, it was too cold for them. And two, it's too cold for, or three, too cold for me. All right. So this is Kommunist Cat. He's a 4-part series in my first book, Cat Trade Newsletters. This is the black covers that were printed in Winnipeg. And also two, it's called the Double J Adventures, okay? The Double J's. But also two, for 20 years, this book was in print with no page. So chapter 8 and whatever, where's the page that it's on? So that's corrected in the Amazon editions of the book. All right, let's see if we have enough talent to open the page. All right. So there is Kommunist Cat on a stone boat, yes, being dragged out of the wilderness. Okay, I'll put the book down so I can concentrate. All right, we cat trained to the lodge, and part of the payment was getting this cat as ownership. But the fellow forgot to tell us the final drive was broken, and the motor was seized, and a whole bunch of other stuff, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so basically I got screwed. All right, so now we took him, built him, and got him up and running, and he's been the most productive cat in the kingdom. Ooh, that wood stove's out of control. I better turn it down. Okay, I'm back. So once we get him running, we put the windshield on. Yes, that's to keep the bugs off our face in the winter. And the tall exhaust stack, which is the removable pipe. We put the side wooden panels on. Also too, the hydraulic tank on IH cats is usually back by the seat. Well, that doesn't work up here. We move it up here to the front so it gets heat off the motor. Oh, I got the burp. So was that peanuts again? All right. So but also too, these side panels are just for summer and around the yard usage. But when we go out to the wilderness and pull the sleighs and have fun, we have the full canvas canopies on. So it brings the heat back, and this is all enclosed and I'm nice and warm. Also too, Kommunist Cat was known for the V plow off the Lynn tractor, which we put back on the Lynn tractor. So now we put this Lorette welding or Johnny hydraulic blade from the south on. I think this one came with Laverne when I first got him. And our trademark is these big long hydraulic cylinders. I had some ones from the mine, I sent them south to get repaired and they disappeared. The guy had 101 excuses, they were bent and yada yada yada. So Sir Rodney sent me these from Princess Auto. So the whole idea with the V-plow was to open trails for drilling or roads or stuff like that, is we could reach down onto the ice or come off the bank and down onto the lake, or we could reach up to knock trees down. So that's why the hydraulic cylinders. This cat has done a lot of work for us, and we've sunk them quite a few times, dragged them out and keep them going. So these cats have tails, all right? So that's a tail. A cat has a tail, all right? And we have the tools hanging on the back here, the chain, the pry bar, everything like that. But the tail is on there, so when you get it stuck, you throw the tail off and you can pull yourself out. So this cat's had lots of numerous upgrades. We put the new hoses on, we put lots of new stuff on, and he's been very good to us. So today's exercise in the shop is to check his magneto, I think it is, the carburetor, and set the valves and see if there's one of those bad thermostats in it. All right, let's get to work. We're wasting time. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and we've gone non-stop, and I mean non-stop. Okay, so we took the little gas tank off because we're going to clean it out too, but that gave us room to get into the thermostat housing. In 2019, we're 20 miles out in the middle of Reindeer Lake plowing a road with the V-plow, and the thermostat decides to malfunction. It would jam up and just about overheat the motor. We're watching the temperature gauge, and then it would open and the temperature gauge would drop. So we're out in the middle of the lake. We had to take the hood off, get that thermostat out and toss it. Yes, we just about cracked the head or did damage to the motor. This is in the month of March. So when we came back, what did we do? We put another one in, but we marked it on the thermostat housing. So we got to figure this out. Okay, people are saying these things fall apart. Just put half of it in. It's actually like a restrictor plate. This being a Dozer cat with the Dozer on the front now, that will work out good, because if we're pushing too much and it overheats, then we'll just have a coffee. But if it's pulling a sleighs and we're trying to travel somewhere, we can't travel, how would you say, half a mile and stop for coffee and then another half a mile. Okay, so we got to figure out the thermostat housing. We had the valve cover off and we had two badly adjusted valves, but everything is good. Also too, when the valve cover was off, we watched the valves go up and down to check the timing marks down there in relationship to Mr. Magneto on the other side. So that worked out good. Also too, we had the cover plate off the front here to check the injection pump timing, and of course it was out. So it's time to zero now, and it'll be marked on this when we're finished here. Okay, not like Aggie the cat with the hydraulic hoses on the pump and everything like that. That was a pain in the ass, whereas here we have lots of room because the pump is out front. That's our trademark, and we're using pumps from the mine. Yes, recycled, repurposed. So these pumps got to be like 40 years old, and we're reusing, repurposing, just like these hoses. So that works out good. But there's room to work. You can move the hoses and stuff like that. So we cleaned this all up, got the intake manifold off, and then we squirt oil everywhere as you see it there, because we have to have the flipper thing lubed well. We got the spark plugs all laid out. So number 2 looked like it was actually firing. The other one's kind of looked dark, but who cares, okay? All right, so let's go check the workbench. Okay, the purpose of this whole exercise was to see what the carburetor was like here, and it's got the plate. A Kingdom follower, YouTube subscriber, emailed me this morning with the parts book, okay, for the newer style TD6 and TD9, showing this round plate as an option or a factory in the carb. So it wasn't somebody making them and selling them on the side on eBay back in the 50s, okay? So that's good to know, because the adjustment or the height between here is critical if you look at the parts book or the service manual. So we're good to go. Clean up the carburetor, do not touch the float, and we'll reassemble. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, come out here. All we had to do was buff the spark plugs and set them up there and crank it over to see if we had spark. The starter quit. It just went once, and then I went to try again and it quit. So you have to take the whole fuel system apart to get it out. And we gave up a long time ago on those steel lines, and for some reason we put hydraulic hoses in there. I don't know, because I had more money than brains, or I wasn't spending my money foolishly on women. So that was creating my own problem. So we got it apart. It was a freaking mess. We drained everything. There's still fuel everywhere. I don't know. This is getting unreal. Okay, so over here at lunch, we went to the back room. Yes, the pleasure room where we keep all the good stuff. and we picked out a thermostat. This is what they do. They fall apart or they jam closed, okay, and they'll overheat. So some of the Kingdom followers and YouTube subscribers are suggesting just put the broken piece back in, and it'll be like a restrictor plate, slowing the water movement down to keep some heat in the engine. So I think we're going to try it on this one because we have no other choice until we find some quality made thermostats that fit in there, because even the new ones you buy from Gates and all these guys, you know, I'm putting them in the Chevy trucks, they malfunction. Oh my, what a world we live in. Okay, the fuel system's back together, and hopefully we can get this one out of the shop and get bad business in the shop to warm up overnight. Okay, this carburetor's back together with the spring for the choke pointing up. So we seem to have more springs pointing up on the choke than we do pointing down, so we're going to go that way. And we used the last of the new gaskets we got from Steiner back in the day. So hopefully the money tree blossoms or some Christmas presents arrive. Oh, my birthday's coming. So gaskets from Steiner's would really be appreciated. Yeah, just joking. All right, let's go have some coffee and get this cat back together.
Friday morning in Whoville, and it's just after 8:30 a.m. And as you can see, the sunrise is starting to peek out. It looks pretty nice, but I'm sure I'll hide behind the clouds and we won't get much of a sunrise anymore. I accidentally slept through my alarm last night and my wood stove went out, but it was still kind of warm in the basement when I went to go check on it this morning. I'm not starting a fire until after I get off work because I work from 10 to 3 today. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, and make breakfast. 9 a.m. and with how chilly it is outside today, it's the perfect time to try out my new cup that I got for Christmas. Thank you so much for the cup. And it also came with some fancy hot chocolate. I never actually had s'more hot chocolate before, so that's going to be pretty tasty. We'll give her a try. But look how fancy my cup is. It even has an X to mark the spot as in my name. 9 a.m. and I was making breakfast and I wanted to peek outside and give you guys a little view of the sunrise here. It is crazy this morning, especially with all the clouds out and moving around. This is pretty cool. Almost 10 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to head to work. I got my water jugs to fill as well, and as you can see, the sunrise has disappeared behind the clouds like I said, and we even have some ptarmigan in the tree over there, but you can't really see them on the camera. Now let's let the dogs back in and head to work. 1:30 and I'm on my way back to work now. I get off at 3, then I'll head on over to the Kingdom with mail and see what my dad's up to over there. Just after 4 p.m. and I got off at 3:45 actually, but I had to run and go do mail and get the skidoo out and then come to the Kingdom, so I forgot to do a little video, but that's okay. I just grabbed my dog treats and dropped off mail and stuff. Now I'm going to head on back into Whoville and do the weather and then get my wood stove going, because it is pretty chilly out here today and I want to know what the temperature is. 4:30 and I just got back from the Kingdom and put the skidoo away. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, get my wood stove going and do the weather. Almost 6 o'clock, and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's negative 23 degrees Celsius, which is negative 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and we even got the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty chilly today. I even got the wood stove started now that I'm off work, and as you can see, it's starting to snow again. Now let's head on downstairs and check on the wood stove. Down in the basement, I got my wood stove going. It's working out pretty good, as you can see here. I even got the damper open, that way all the smoke goes up. I'm still learning how to use the stove, and I even put some gasket glue around the outside here to seal it up. That way there's no smoke out the front, because that's the last thing you want. It is a little smoky in here because I had a hard time getting the fire going, but now that it's going, it's nice and warm. Just came out to give you guys a little video and to check my chimney pipe, and I think it's doing pretty good. It's not that hot, but look at the smoke coming out. I think I got a nice little fire going on inside. As long as I keep it going all night tonight, I think I'll be nice and warm in the morning. Now let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and end my day.
Okay, 8 o'clock Friday night, and the struggle was unreal, but I succeeded. Okay, yes. All right. 2 starters, so we're on the 3rd one. We think the problem is the thingies in here where you push down and touches the thingy. I didn't think it works twice or 3 times and then it quits. Okay, so we'll go over to the cat here. Let's walk and talk. I'm still sober because I had to stay focused. All right. So the first starter went. We popped it off. So we have to take the fuel system off, right? The pumps, fuel filters, all that crap to get into that little starter down there, but that's okay. We mark everything, Plus we have a drawing. I think that's 2017 or something like that. I usually put a date on it. So that's no problem. Change our starter out, cranked it over twice, and it quit. So then we have to pull the fuel system all out again. So then to get it going, we have to bleed the fuel system. So we had this injection pump set to 0, and then we're trying to get it started and running. We even put the inner tube on the fuel tank at the back there, poofed it up, and we got it to run, but it ran like crap. Okay, so then we started moving the timing back to where it was. So in the end, after we smoked out the shop numerous times, we got it back to 2 down where it was originally set. Okay, but on the positive side, it starts on gas with just a little choke, and it'll sit there and run. That's in the shop. So let's see what it does when it's outside. So we're very pleased with that. All right, so now we can, how would you say, get this cat out and get the other one. We were opening and closing the door big time to get the smoke out of this shop here. And the wood stove was only burning when we had the door open. Just unreal. But we were trying to get maximum amount of heat because it was cold in here. All right, let's get this thing started out and get Bad Business pushed in so he can thaw it overnight. And then we can struggle with him tomorrow. Okay, 10 o'clock at night and it's about minus 30 below, and bad business was hard to push in the shop because of the gear oil and everything, but that's no problem. I spent a couple hours trying to figure out Kommunist cat there. I was setting the injection pump, setting it, but the cat has always started, run rough, and then you take the ether can and just give it a little spray going by the air cleaner, and then the injectors would get happy. So that's what I was having a hard time getting. But we got it figured out, I think. We're going to go pull the drag, and then we can stock the wood stove up, walk the dogs, and call it a day. But it was a long day, but we got one out and one in. Okay, went one trip around the house, and it's not running quite right. Like, it just doesn't have the power pulling the drag, so I'm going to bump the injection pump up one more to see what happens. If not, I'll have to set it back. Oh well, it's only a Friday night. I could be drinking professionally. Okay, I adjusted the injection pump one notch and pulled the drag, no problem, lots of power, but it had a little ting in the injection pump, so I backed it off a half a notch. So we'll try it. So it's not bad out here. The bolts are warm, the engine's warm, so then when you put the warm bolts on the trackpad here, they freeze to it. I don't know, you can see the little round ones? That's where they're frozen. And then if you do drop them, the black bolts in the white snow, it's easy to find. So hopefully this time around, we got it set. Okay, that took a bit, but it's just about midnight, and I got the injection pump set. It will pull the drag, it does everything, it acts normal. Alright, let's go fill the wood stove and shut the cat off. Okay, it's midnight and it worked out good today. We got Kommunist cat up and running. He starts excellent on gas and the starter works. So we're going through 3 of them, or that's the 3rd one we put on. Alright, so I'm very pleased. I learned a lot about the injection pump and timing it, and it only takes a little bit of a movement and it will affect the power ratio of the engine. Alright, so it's a little chilly out here. Alright, look at the flags. Oh, they're looking good. Alright, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, make a video, and have some supper. I'm hungry. Alright, talk to you later.